There are people who fight battles inside the ring, and then there are people who fight battles no one can see. This is the story of one such battle between a young girl who had lost all hope and a man the world knows as a WWE legend, an actor, a hero, John Cena. But this story isn't about championships or Hollywood fame. It's about the kind of strength that changes lives, the kind that speaks and heals. It began in a small town, far from the lights of New York or the energy of Los Angeles. A quiet, overlooked place where poverty wasn't just a statistic, it was a way of life. In that town lived a girl named Emily. She was just 12 years old, but life had already thrown her more pain than most adults ever face. Her father had passed away in an accident when she was just a toddler. Her mother worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table. And Emily had a condition, a rare disease that weakened her muscles and made walking harder every day. She was often alone, isolated, picked on by classmates who didn't understand her struggle. And most painfully, she had started to believe what they said, that she wasn't enough, that she wouldn't make it, that her life didn't matter. And then something changed. One night, as she scrolled through TV channels, she stumbled upon WWE. Bright lights, roaring crowds, and in the center of it all, one man. He wasn't just fighting opponents. He was standing tall. He was shouting something that pierced through her pain like a lightning bolt. Never give up. John Cena. For some reason, that phrase stuck with her. It wasn't just a slogan, it was a message, a command, a lifeline. From that night on, Emily started watching John Cena every chance she got. Not because she loved wrestling, but because every time he walked into that ring, he brought with him a kind of strength she didn't know she had. She hung posters of him on her wall. She memorized his speeches. And when her disease got worse and the pain got unbearable, she would close her eyes and whisper to herself, "Never give up, never give up, never give up." One day, her mother came home with a surprise. She had heard about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and, with a little help, had submitted a request. Emily's one and only wish: to meet John Cena. Now, most kids make wishes like that and wait months, sometimes years. Sometimes it never happens at all. But John Cena? He isn't like most people. You see, John Cena holds the world record for most wishes granted through Make-A-Wish. Over 650 wishes. Not because he has to, but because he chooses to. When he heard about Emily, this small, quiet girl whose life had been filled with more pain than joy, he didn't hesitate. He didn't send a video. He didn't just sign a shirt. He came in person. No cameras. No press. Just John, and a promise to make a little girl feel seen. When he walked into that hospital room, Emily couldn't believe her eyes. Here was her hero, standing at the foot of her bed, smiling at her like she was the most important person in the world. And you know what he said? Not hello, not how are you, but 3 words. You're my hero. Emily started crying. She thought she was the one being inspired. But to John Cena, her strength, her courage, her fight was the real story. He sat with her for hours. They talked, laughed. He held her hand when she told him about the bullies. And when it was time to leave, he leaned in and whispered, "You're stronger than you think. Promise me you'll keep fighting." She promised. And from that day forward, something changed in Emily. Doctors saw it. Her mom saw it. Everyone did. Her attitude shifted. Her strength started to return. Her spirit was unstoppable because someone she believed in her. And that's the power of hope. That's the power of one moment of kindness from someone who didn't have to, but did. John Cena could have spent that day on a movie set, or at an award show, or signing autographs for fans. But he chose to sit beside a broken little girl and lift her up. Why? Because for John Cena, fame was never the goal. Impact was. He once said, "I don't want to just entertain. I want to matter." And he does. John Cena doesn't just wrestle with his fists. He wrestles with heart. He fights the battles that don't get televised, the ones where there's no crowd cheering, but the victory is even greater. He shows up when it matters most. He listens. He encourages. And in doing so, he teaches us a powerful truth. You don't have to be a superstar to be a hero. You just have to show up. You just have to care. You just have to give hope where there was none. Today, Emily is a high school graduate. She walks on her own. She volunteers at children's hospitals. And every day, she wears a bracelet with 3 words engraved on it. Never give up, because she never did. Because of one man who reminded her she mattered. John Cena didn't just save a fan. He saved a life. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling broken, tired like the world's forgotten you, remember Emily. Remember John Cena. And most importantly, remember this. You are stronger than you think. You matter. And you must never give up. Because the world needs your story. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be someone's John Cena.